Fan Free podcast, and today we've got a special for you. It is the FA Cup final preview. Mike, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, Bren. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's always good to have you on. Unfortunately, we were hoping to have a few more panel members, as I can say tonight, but didn't work out as such. But we keep on moving, and hopefully Arsenal does that as well. After disappointing the last two fixtures, especially, even though the Watford game was a victory, it wasn't the best performance overall.
Well, Bren, it's been a disappointing season in my opinion. So it couldn't have ended quick enough. All we can hope for now is to have a big game on Saturday, walk away with the trophy. Hopefully that can convince Lampard to sign a contract, help with a bit of the transfer funds, and we just look forward to next season.
No, I definitely agree. Hopefully the FA Cup victory does convince Alba that this is the right club where you can win some silverware, even though for the next 2 years it's probably just cup competitions that we'll look at. But let's jump straight into the big game of the weekend. Obviously, the last game of the English calendar. Obviously, the Champions League is still, the Champions and Europa League is still to continue, but this is the last game of the English calendar. Other than probably maybe the Championship promotion final, but I'm not sure when that is. In any case, so I thought, Mike, let's first do our predicted lineups. Do you think there's going to be a lot of changes to what we saw against Watford?
Well, I don't think there'll be too many changes, Bren. I hope Bellerin obviously starts on right back, and I agree with you that I think Maitland-Niles should start at left wing back. Other than that, it's a team kind of chooses itself. Martinez has to be there. We know the centre back partnership. We know the midfield, and hopefully the front three will be Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe.
So, do you expect then Arteta to stick with the back three?
Yeah, well, we saw against Watford that the back two is not going to work out for us, especially not with the players we have right now. Maybe it will be something he tries again next season, but I don't expect it for the FA Cup.
Yeah, I heard some conversations about the back four, and it was what they're saying is it might be like an emergency game plan if things go belly up. Against Chelsea, it's something we can change to be a bit more dynamic and a bit more attacking in a sense. But also see us starting with the back three and going to a very similar lineup, hopefully, that we had against City. Nothing against Saka. I just feel that someone like Maitland-Niles is a bit more defensively sound. Saka does definitely bring something a bit more in the attacking half of the field.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Saka myself. I'm excited to see him wear the number 7 jersey next season. But yeah, I think for this game, it would be better to start Maitland-Niles. He's really been performing when he's been playing under Arteta. Not that Saka hasn't, obviously, but it just feels better to say that Maitland-Niles will be in the defense rather than Saka. And Saka can bring a lot off the bench as well.
Yeah, well, I think having Saka on the bench, it's probably the only real attacking threat we can throw on. Yes, Eddie Nketiah is attacking in a sense, but I think he's just a pair of fresh legs. He doesn't bring too much difference to the game than someone like Lacazette, for instance, brings. So I think Saka would be the only one then that would be able to change the dynamics of the game from the bench if he was on there.
Well, yeah, he'll obviously throw on Nelson as well.
Yeah.
Right winger. And create more from crossing opportunities, and he also likes to get one-on-one with the player.
Yeah, and obviously after that Liverpool performance, we've seen a bit more. He's a bit more confident. So he does take on a player a bit more, or especially the Watford game we saw. It was the Watford game, right? So we're trying to think. Yeah, he missed the Villa game due to injury. He came on in the Watford game, and he was able to take on the player once or twice, which we haven't seen a lot of this season. So now I want to go on to key battles, right? I personally feel with Mustafi missing the game and most likely Bellerin starting on the right wing or right wing back position. That battle between Giroud, Pulisic, possibly Holding, and Bellerin is going to be very key for us because I see them causing the most trouble down that left-hand side, our right-hand side of the defense.
Oh, well, I actually agree with you, Bren, because, but, Bellerin would keep up with Pulisic for pace, but Pulisic, he dribbles very well. Always makes it a lot more difficult for the defender. And, Holding is a strong guy, so he likes to take on a player physically, and that's what Giroud does as well. So it's obviously going to be a key battle on our defensive side. And, they also haven't been the best defensive side, So if our attack is on point or on form, then we'll obviously also cause them quite a lot of problems. Now, I don't see Kepa even starting there. I have no faith in Kepa whatsoever, what it looks like.
No, well, I had stories, or you saw stories, rumor circulating today that Kepa most likely played his last game and for Chelsea. So I also don't feel that Willie Calavero is that much of an upgrade on Kepa. So either or, to be honest, for me, I don't really care who's in goal for them. And I agree with you. I think this is a game that doesn't matter what the scoreline is. Both teams will feel they'll still be in it because of defensive. Both teams are, well, Arsenal's been much more solid over the last, since Arteta took over. But I still feel, a bit nervous, even the going in with a 2-0 lead or a 3-0 lead. We saw what happened against Watford. It can turn around quite quickly.
Yeah, and Chelsea have a real attacking team. They've got a lot of talent in the team, like we just said, Giroud and Pulisic. They'll probably start with someone like Willian on the right wing, or maybe even Hudson-Odoi. And then midfield, Mason Mount, he's great. They got Barkley, Kante, Jorginho. So yeah, I expect Chelsea to come out and attack, try and take the game to Arsenal. But as we've seen, it looks like that Arteta likes to play against the bigger teams. Let them play their game, and we just be very solid and difficult to break down, and then try and hit them on the counter.
I'm actually quite interested to hear your opinion on this because I think Lampard, I don't like him much as a manager, or I didn't like him that much as a player either. But I think if you're Lampard and you look at this Arsenal team, you would be silly to go all out attacking against this Arsenal side because there's much more of an opportunity if they sit back a bit and allow us to have the ball for them to catch us in the break, as we've seen against Watford. I wonder if they'll change their game plan according to our strengths.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, Brent. That's why I said, I think Arteta likes to play with teams attacking us, and we trying to hit on the counter because we look a lot better that way. And, it's clear to see as well that if we have to create chances, if we have to attack the game, then there's not much creativity. Then we're always fragile at the back. So I don't know what Lampard's thoughts would be. I think actually he's going to come out and attack Arsenal because that's the way they play. I'm not sure if he's going to danger too much for our game plan, our game style.
Well, if that's the case, I think I would be pretty confident as an Arsenal supporter because, like we just mentioned, our best performances have come this, especially after lockdown, when the other team was quite open trying to attack us, and we could hit them on the counter. So that bodes well for me. Obviously, not going in overconfident because we know what happened last year in Baku, the Europa League final. But hopefully that gives the players a bit of drive, to try and make up for that disappointing result.
Yeah, well, I'm always nervous playing Chelsea. We haven't done the best against Chelsea over the past few years. Baku, it's like a nightmare. But we haven't done too bad this season against Chelsea in the two games. We were leading in the first game and we actually threw it away, but still a 2-2 draw. And the way we played when we went down to 10 men and a goal behind second game was great. So hopefully, like you mentioned, it gives the Arsenal players a bit extra drive just to play against Chelsea. From a fan's perspective, I'm quite nervous.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Saturday's going to be a big day, especially looking at our league position. We need to get some silverware to, make the season feel like a bit of a success. And obviously, the big thing is both managers are going for their first cup or first trophy. And you saw someone like Pochettino at Tottenham was a very good manager, but the pressure started to build on him because he didn't bring any silverware. So this might be a big monkey of whoever wins this trophy's back.
Yeah, well, hopefully Arteta comes out on top. It's his first season managing. Probably 6 months now, 6-7 months, and to get a trophy that early with the team that he has, where we ended up in the league, it would obviously be great. Hopefully, that would also give the board a bit more incentive to back him as the right manager to take the club forward and purchase the right players.
Yeah, and okay, I definitely agree with you. I think we should move on to the score predictions because talking about in-play investments, it's just I think it's a very difficult one to call because seeing that we were probably the only club that I know of that asked our players to take a wage cut. That's a bit of a scary situation. I know there were other ways of players cutting wages or giving back to the community, but I think we're the only club that actually had like a straight wage cut, if I can remember correctly. So it doesn't bode well for the transfer window. In any case, what are your predictions for the game? What would your score prediction?
Well, like you said, Bren, it's a very difficult one to call, and I'm very nervous because it's Chelsea, and like I said, we don't have the best record. But I think it's going to be another high-scoring game, this one. So I'll go for 3-2 Arsenal.
And I remember Renier on the last night's episode went to 2-1 to Arsenal. I also don't see any team keeping a clean sheet. I don't see us scoring more than 3 goals. I think just to change it up, I'll go 2-0 to Arsenal to see if we can get one score prediction right. But yeah, I also honestly see a 3-2 scoreline or something like that being more likely. But let's go 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah, well, look, Bren, we really need this trophy, as a club. I think for the players, for the new manager, for the fans, just something to be happy about, and to give us something to look forward to again, because it hasn't been great times as an Arsenal fan, except for the FA Cup, actually, where we actually have had quite a few over the last few years.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's the same as 2017. We had Man City in the semi-finals. We beat them. We had Chelsea in the finals. Hopefully we can do the same. All right, Mike. Thanks as always for joining. So this is a bit of a short episode, but I feel, we might have another episode to include a few more of the panelists. So I don't want to give away too much on this particular preview.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Bren. It's always good having a chat.
And we'll see you soon.